And welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I am on my way to some meetings today, but wanted to shoot this video that I outlined a while ago. It's really simple, but I got a lot of messages just even over the last few weeks from people who are out trying to buy cars now that it appears that dealers are slowly but most certainly coming to their senses. The smart ones are making adjustments to their prices, how they behave, how they treat their customers, their entire value proposition. And there's not as many of those as there are the stupid ones that are still sitting there thinking that they're sitting on giant 4,500 pound blocks of gold bullion and thinking that we're gonna walk in there and give them 20,000 over or even MSRP, because at this point, unless it's a red eye or something that's a little harder to find, MSRP is long gone with the dodo bird. So now with the inventory levels, whatever you're looking for, you should be able to find it at a dealership somewhere at a better price. And whether it's a Dodge or some other car, these 5 questions I think are extremely applicable and can save you from walking into a buzzsaw of challenged integrity at some of these dealerships. So I'm going to go through these real quick because I don't have a long drive this morning. And some of these are going to be extremely like common sense stuff. But think of it like this. You're starting your search. You know what you want to buy. You're on the internet like everybody is looking for that car. And you find a dealership that has several versions of the car that you would be happy in. So let's say it's a Scat Pack and you're good with it, but you notice also that they have some wide body Scat Packs, but they also have a Super B, a Swinger, you know, a couple of the special editions, and you're like, well, hell, if I can get one of those for the same price as one of the other ones, you know, I'd take that. Well, cool. The best way to filter through the utter hogwash that they throw at you when you get at the dealership is to simply and very politely, and I mean, when I say politely, I mean like be the coolest person in the world. Disarm them with kindness at the beginning. They ask your name, ask their name. And then say, wow, you sound like you know what you're doing. You've been there a while, huh? Oh yeah, I've been selling cars for 20 years. Awesome. Wow. You know, you sound like, just right off the bat, I'm a good judge of character. You sound like a decent guy. I mean, you know, I hope you are, but you sound like it. Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, this is all really strategic manipulation. Sorry, but they do it to us. We got to do it to them. Disarm them from the looky-loo 20 calls a day they get from people that never plan to buy a car. Like the Facebook buyers. You know, is it available? And then they never respond. I mean, they get those calls all day, and these salesmen are jaded by the time you call. So you want to say to them is, listen, I'm on a tight timeline. I want to be in a car. Today's, you know, Wednesday. I want to be in a car by like next Monday. Like I need to buy a car. I'm gonna buy a car. I'm gonna buy a Hellcat, or I'm gonna buy a Scat Pack by Monday. That's my timeline. Do you think you could meet that? Do you think we could do that? And then he's like, this is a real sale. This person has a want and a need and clear direction on where they want to be by next Monday, which is in a new car. Now that salesman goes, okay, this might not be another one's looky-loos. Because the looky-loos are just calling up going, is it available? And how much are you asking? All right, well, thank you. And they get off the phone, nothing happens. You're saying, hey, look, I need to buy by next Monday. Now, remember, their objective 100% of the time is to get you into the dealership, to get you to commit to an appointment. So you say to them, I was wondering if you have an appointment open in the next couple days where you're working, because you sound like a decent guy, where I can come in there and hopefully do a deal and drive home in my new Scat Pack. And at that point, you just reversed the script on him. He's trained to go in and start jamming you for an appointment right away. Like as soon as possible. When can you come in? You just took control of the conversation by saying, when can I come in? That screams to him, commission check. I'm coming in. So now that you've got him tied to the sale, say, you know what, but before I drive down there and waste both of our time, because I know you've got a lot going on and probably don't want to waste time with a buyer with maybe unrealistic expectations, can I ask you a few questions before I come down there? Now, this is reversing the script because they do that with you. They always ask, do you have a trade-in? When do you want to buy? You know, what are you looking for? You know, they jam you up with a long list of questions. You just turn it around on them. And remember, the person who's asking the questions is in the power position in any negotiation. When do negotiations start when you're buying a car? On the absolute initial conversation. Upon introduction, those conversations are negotiating. So you say, can I ask you a few questions before I come down there? Certainly don't want to waste your time. I mean, if there's no deal to be made, I don't, you know, I'm trying to figure out a dealership that I can work with long term for my family. We're going to buy a few cars over the next few years. I just like to build a relationship. Yeah, sure, no problem. I mean, this is like the dream phone call for a car salesman. And watch, the car salesman will comment and go, no, it's not. Believe me, I've had you all dancing for me. Dancing for me. I could have had you put a pink tutu on and dance for me in the dealership by the time I got there. I bought 50, I'd say now I'm at like 54, 55 cars. Never paid a markup, never paid an add-on, and always got good deals on my cars. So I think I know what I'm talking about here. So at this point, you've got them eagerly listening to the next question. And then you say, you know, I know these are going away, and I'm sure it's not an issue, but I've been burned and hurt before, so obviously I'm jaded. Can I ask you, do you have any markups on your cars? Dealer adjustments, market adjustments, whatever you want to call them. Is there anything I'm going to find out about when I get there? And if he says, well, yes, I do. Okay, well, unfortunately, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm going to have to keep shopping. Yeah, but everybody's got them on there. No, they don't actually. Go watch OC Motivator's channel. I'm just kidding. But no, they don't actually. And it's just a matter, I just have to do the legwork. There's always somebody wanting to make a deal. There's somebody who's going to make a deal with me. And then you'll say, why don't you come in here and we'll work something out. Tell me right now that when I get there, we don't have to have a conversation about a markup, and I'll show up to our tentative Thursday at 10 a.m. appointment, which we already have, which I was excited about. I had my tuxedo already. I was ready to come down there and, you know, tell me right now, you will not try to stick me with any markups, and I'll keep my appointment pending how my other 4 questions go, which are really reasonable ones. You got it. You know, I'll do everything I can do to save you that money. All right, awesome. We'll take that as a no markups. Cool. Next question. Do you have any mandatory add-ons? Things like Scylla Jet, Clear Coat, you know, Scotch Guard, whatever the hell. Do you have any mandatory add-ons? And when he says, well, we have some add-ons, are they mandatory? Are they already on the car? Meaning you can't take them off at this point. And if he says, well, yeah, we do. We have a GPS security system because these cars get stolen a lot. And we have, you know, the Scylla Jet coating that we put on the car. All right. Is that already on the car? No, it's not on the car yet, but we do it within a few days. We do it, you know, a due bill, that way you can come back and get it done. Yeah, see, I don't need that stuff because I plan to, you know, do my own PPF, and I have a deal already with my brother's, mother's, father's, uncle's sister, you know, cousin does PPF, so they're going to do it for me. So I don't need that stuff. And I don't need the GPS because I have great insurance, and if they steal it, I'll just buy another one. So do I have to have that stuff? And your goal is to get him to say, look, we could take that stuff off. And if he says, nothing we can do, Your fallback is going to be, okay, hey, you want to take my number down? They already have your number because they captured it when you called their 800 number. But you're going to say, even if your number's blocked, the 800 number will unblock it and they'll get your phone number. But you just say to them, can I give you my number? And if something changes with those add-ons, if something changes with your markups, whatever, if any of these answers to the questions you're asking are in the negative or don't work for you, offer up your phone number and say, can I give you my phone number? And you give me a call. Obviously, it needs to happen before Monday because I will be in a new car on Monday. No later than Monday. It could happen today, could happen tomorrow. I have a couple other appointments with other dealerships. But let me give you my number, and if something changes, you have the car that I like, and assuming everything else falls in order, then I'll be down there. And if he says, okay, cool, give me your number, and then you'll get a call back. I can almost promise you. It's how I got the Swinger. I was like, nah, dude, I'm not paying a markup. It's cool, but feel free to give me a call if something changes. 22 minutes later, Max calls me up and says, would you take it at MSRP? Yeah, I'll be down there in an hour. And here I am driving it today. So if you get through that and he says, yeah, no add-ons, we're good, great. Next question, pretty simple. Am I required to use your financing to qualify for any manufacturer incentives or rebates or any of that kind of stuff? Obviously, Dodge financing at 0% for 72 months would require me to go with your financing, obviously. But outside of that, if on the Dodge website, which you can go look at what manufacturer offers, there was for a while there a $3,000 rebate on some cars. Do I have to finance through you to be able to get that $3,000 or military discount or police officer discount or customer loyalty discount? Whatever it is, do I have to finance through you? And if he says, well, we would really like you to, that's cool. Here's my deal. I don't mind financing through you as long as you're at or better than the rate that I get and the term. So if I'm at 72 months at 7%, as long as you're at 72 months at 7% or less, I'm good. I'm fine. We'll go with you. I have no problem with that. So can I use my own financing, or will you at least give me a 3 or 5 day option contract where I can obtain my own financing and choose to go with them? And a lot of times they'll say, absolutely, yes, no problem, because they believe that you won't actually do that. But you already have your financing set up, and that's one way to negotiate a better deal. But remember, you don't want to negotiate on payment, you always want to negotiate on price. That's why you want to have your loan in place at the best possible rate with your credit union, ideally, or your own bank, so you already know what your payment's going to be. You just need to get the price where it needs to be. Next, do I have to have a trade-in to be able to get any discounts or MSRP or below pricing? Is there any requirement to have a trade-in? This happened to me a few times when I found a few Scat Packs. When I was out shopping for Scats, I found some dealers with discounts below MSRP, and when I called them and said I'm excited to come down there was an asterisk that said trade-in required. So absent having a trade-in, they didn't want anything to do with me. And I want to explain why dealers do this. Even in a market like this where they may have an oversupply of cars, is if they're selling you a car at or below MSRP with no add-ons, no markups, they're not happy about that. Even though they're still making money, they're not happy about that. But if they require you to have a trade-in to get that deal, they're going to create an opportunity to make up what they're losing in their mind on the car you're buying. Here's how that works. You're trading in, let's say you're trading in a RT, and let's say it's worth $25,000 on the open market. They know they could get probably $24,000, $25,000 on the open market, but they offer you $17,000 for that car. And you're like, what the hell? And you're like, I'm not taking that much. I'll just buy the car without that. Well, then you have to pay more for the car. You can't get the discounts, you can't get the deal. There is a markup, there's add-ons, because they want to make it up by stealing your car to the extent that they could wholesale that thing at Manheim and still make $4,000 or $5,000. That's what they want to do. And if it's relatively low mileage, is still under warranty, and they decide to keep it on their lot, they want to make sure that they can make back what they're losing on their floor plan from having these cars sitting there, and they're assuming it's going to sit there based on their ridiculous pricing for probably 3 to 6 months before it sells. So they want to build a ton of profit in that car in case it does sit there. They can still come out okay. So ask them, do you require a trade-in to get these deals that you're offering on your website? And if they say yes, we do, say, I'm sorry, I'm not looking to do that deal unless you have a trade-in and you want to have that conversation now. And they will, believe me, say, hey, look, before I get there on Thursday, can I send you my VIN number and pictures of the car, and you guys give me a ballpark? And then also go to CarMax, Car Buyer USA, Vroom's out of business, don't go there. Go to as many of the car buying websites, GiveMeTheVIN.com, Kelley Blue Book, I think CarEdge.com has a few links there to be able to get you an offer for your car, and find out what that lowest price is and the highest price is if you sell it yourself. That way you know at least, worst case, that's what you can get for it. And if it's a decent price, which right now that might be hard, but if it's a decent price, then simply ask them to match or beat that. Now, I play a little game with them. I might not tell them exactly what my offer is. I might tell them that I have an offer already and I need them to beat it, but I'm not interested in having a conversation about how much it is. I like just to see where their heads are at before I drive down there on Thursday. Bottom line is, you have these 5 questions answered, and you write down the answers as you're going through the dealerships you're going to go visit, and you'll know which ones are going to play games and try to rope-a-dope you, and you know the ones that, if they're not lying, are going to do you the most fairly. And you'll be in much better shape. But at the very least, you'll be able to flesh out the idiots before you jump in your car and drive down there and spend 6 hours in a conference room getting, hammered around for payments and interest rates and add-ons and markups and all this crap. At least if you have these questions answered when you get there, you can say, if they try to change it on you, say, listen, integrity's everything to me. If our relationship starts off with you lying, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. If I met a girl out there and we went on a first date and 80% of what she told me was lies, I probably wouldn't continue the relationship. So I'm sorry, but you lying is a deal breaker. Not because I don't think we can put a deal together. It's because I don't want to work with somebody who has a very loose relationship with the truth. Fair enough? And hopefully they'll start dancing, apologize, and get right back down to business the way you want it to be. But these are the 5 questions, folks, I would ask. You can ask them over the phone. You can ask them when you're standing out there on the dealership. Put them in your phone, in your notepad. I'll even write them out and put them in the description below so you can go down there, copy and paste them, and get the answers to these questions. I'm sure there's more out there you could think about, but these 5 will at least get you to boil down whether or not you want to proceed 1 minute with any of these clowns. So with that, everybody, I have arrived at my first appointment for the day. Please like, subscribe, comment, share this with anyone you think it will benefit, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.